Hi everyone, and welcome again to another SysAid monthly webinar. I'm happy to be here with you again. You know, it's always good to be optimistic and hope for the best, but usually it's really smart to plan for the worst that can happen. So today I want to speak to you about a disaster recovery plan that you can implement with SysAid. So we're going to teach you what files to back up and how to restore your database. And to do that, here with us is Yair Bortinger. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here for the first time. Hope we'll have some more. So Yair is a team leader in our customer relations department, and this is the department that I come from. I used to be an account manager for about 2 years, and a lot of the times we dealt with cases that we call server down issues. So Yair, can you tell our viewers how they should even relate to such issues?
So the first thing that you need to do when you have a server down issue, as we call it, is don't panic. The second thing that you need to do is don't panic.
Okay.
But after that, we need to analyze it. So not every server down issue is a critical loss of data, loss of server. So first of all, you can watch this recording afterwards when you have a server down to review what you can do. The second thing that you can do is, of course, contact us here in customer relations. We treat these issues as highest priority, and we strive to contact you as soon as possible after we get this.
Right. So in any case, I mean, you don't have anything to worry about, like Yair said. Don't panic. There's a solution for everything. Let's go over quickly over the agenda for today. I'm going to move to our screen. So in today's agenda, we're going to speak about how to back up essential files, how to back up your database, depending on which database you have. We'll try to cover them all, and how to recover from various disaster scenarios. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. Our chat representatives are ready to take your questions in case of needs. So first thing we want to do is to be prepared for a disaster before it even happens. So let's go over the necessary files that we actually need to back up. Actually, what to do to back up our database.
Basically, there are two things that we need to worry about. The first thing is which files we need to back up from the SysAid server folder or the SysAid server machine, and the second thing is the database. We need to back up the database. Now, almost all critical information is kept on the database.
Yes.
All the files that are that we were going to review right now.
We can move to the screen. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, this is a list of all the files that you need to back up on your SysAid server folder or in your SysAid server folder. I will go over some of them very quickly. The translation files, all the modifications that you did to the translation file, changing field names and titles, are kept in the SysAid server /root/webinf/classes folder.
Yeah.
So you need to, so if you did any changes to the translation file, this folder will appear and you need to back that up. Another thing is the logo, the company logo, if you implemented the company logo into your SysAid. So these images are saved in the root folder. So just back up those folders. The third thing that you need,
That's fine.
Okay. The third thing is, of course, the reports, all the customized reports. It is kept in a file.
An XML file.
An XML file. called reports _ your account ID .xml that is on the conf folder, as you can see. If you customize your printout, you need to back up this also. So as you can see, I can go over and over all the list, but all the files in the SysAid server are customizations that you did into SysAid. This list will be available later in our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're going to put it in our YouTube channel. Just to add what you just stated out, that's also in the list. Like Yair said, we can move back to our camera now. Just 1 second. Like Yair stated, I think one of the most important things in this list is to save the files that help you customize SysAid. It's a very extensive list. Another folder that's in that list is the HTML customizations. You need to make sure that you're backing this one up. And as you can see on this list, we didn't put a path on this one because this is something that you can save in various places, and it's very easy to forget. So make sure that you're saving this folder as well.
Correct.
Okay.
If you forgot where your custom HTML files, you can see it in the customized appearance page. There is the path to the custom HTML files.
You know what? While we're talking about it, let's show that. So we'll move into SysAid for just a second. So under settings, by the way, this is our new interface. We're in beta stages for the in-house new interface. Our cloud environment clients are already enjoying this interface. If you go under settings and customization, customize and appearance. So right here under HTML files, you should find the path to your customized files in case you had customization.
Yeah. So after we finished backing up the files from the SysAid server, the second thing is to back up the database. So if it's external database like MySQL, MS SQL, or Oracle, your DBA person is in charge of backing daily, weekly, depends on your company policy. So he's in charge of the backups. But if it's a DRP database which is built in with SysAid, we need to go, let's start from the admin portal so it will be easier. We need to go again to the cogwheel and then to integration. And over here we have backup. Now this page is relevant only when you're using the DRP database.
Right.
So what you need to, how you set it up, you choose the hour of your daily backups and you choose the path where the backups will be saved. Now SysAid has designed it so every day will be kept for a week. So and then the next 7 days will run over the day.
Right.
So because we are here in Israel and a weekday starts from Sunday, so number 1 is Sunday and number 2 is Monday. And go on and go forth. So if
that's for our viewers out there around the world which start their weekday on Monday, we start on Sunday.
On Sunday. So that's why our programmers decided that Sunday is that 1 is Sunday. So the first Sunday is here, then Monday, Tuesday, go on and forth, and the next Sunday will run over the first Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So this is the way we back up.
Okay. Let's move back to our camera so our viewers can see us. Great.
So that's it. After we back up the files on the SysAid server and backed up the database daily or weekly, or you decide what is the frequency, we are prepared for the worst case scenario.
Great. Well, I'll ask you this. Sometimes we come into SysAid, and what can you do? We either get a blank page, or it seems like SysAid is not responding. Does it mean that we need to restore the database immediately?
No. In most cases, the data itself is not corrupted.
Right.
Something is wrong in the configuration.
Okay.
We can see we chosen for you 3 scenarios. Let's just go over them, okay? Let's go back to the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is related to the DRP database, where the database is not found and you can't connect to the SysAid software. If you go to the SysAid log files, you will see this error, okay? Fail to start database default, okay? So what happens is sometimes the log files in the DB folder can cause this error. So if we go back to our SysAid server, and we are now in our SysAid server, and we go to root, web-inf, DB folder, as you can see there is here in the default folder, log folder. And if there are files there, once we select all and remove them, delete, okay?
We have the service running, so we won't be able to delete them now, but that's understood.
Basically, this is what you need to do. Just go to the default folder, go into the log folder, clear all the files there, and start the service again. And that will fix the problem in this case.
Great. So it's actually very easy. I mean, nothing. So next time you see this error, you'll know what to do.
Yes. The second thing that is very common is that the TCP port is occupied by another software. For some reason, someone just installed another software that is using the same port that SysAid is using. So if we go to the log files, to the wrapper log file, we will see this error. Unrecognized Windows socket error, JVM bind. So this, when we see JVM bind, this can give us a clue that the port is occupied by another software.
Okay.
So what we can do, we can first of all run a netstat, see what ports are occupied, and if we need the software to run, we can change the port in SysAid in the server.xml file. But again, if you find it hard to troubleshoot by yourself, just contact us and we will contact you as soon as we can. The last thing that we set up is a scenario for a server down issue, but not a disaster, nothing is corrupted or something, is where you can't connect to the database. And the reason when you go to the sysaid.log file, the reason that you see there is login failed for user SA. So this is true for external databases mainly. So all you need to do is just make sure that the login credentials in the server conf are correct.
Okay, so let's see we need to see how to access the server conf and what to change. Okay,
so how to access the server conf is very, very easy. We go to the SysAid server, root, web-inf, and then conf folder. Over here, you will see the server conf file. Now, this server conf is for the DRP database, because this is what we use in this installation. As you can see, in the server conf, you can see the type of the database. So there is the path to the database host, and here is the user that we're logging into, and here is the encrypted password of the user that we are logging with. So if we see this error, I will just go again. If we see this error, okay, cannot connect to database on startup, waiting 30 seconds to retry logging failed for user SA.
It could be for any user, by the way. SA is the user that we use in the server conf, but it could be any user that you're using to connect your database.
Correct. So we need to go to we need to go to the server XML file and make sure that the username is correct and the password is correct.
Right.
Now, because this is crypted, you won't know if the password is correct, so you just need to select this, okay, between the brackets, retype it as it is, and restart the service.
Yeah.
Once the login will be successful, SysAid will crypt the password so it won't be visible.
Okay, great. Well, let's go back to our camera. Just 1 second, please. Okay, and there we go. We're here. So yeah, that's great input. I'm sure for each and every one of you. Like you said, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Well, you can do. There's things to do even before you call us. Just take a quick look at your SysAid log files. It's not hard to do. And we actually, this is a good place to say that we actually teach these methods a little more in depth when we do our certification courses. We have a whole class about troubleshooting and disaster recovery. So make sure to join one of the courses when you feel ready. Well, that's great. So now let's see how we can recover from an actual disaster situation. Where what can we do? Our database is corrupted. We lost our DB server or our SysAid server, for that matter. Yeah. It could be either. So okay, so.
So if we prepared correctly and backed up all the files, the configuration file from the SysAid server, and backed up the database, we are safe in any case.
Yeah.
So there is one scenario where the database server is crashed and you can't access it. So you need, if it's an external database, you need to contact your DBA and ask them to do a restore from backup.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do that, just restart the SysAid server and the database will be updated till the last backup. So make sure that you do daily backups.
Yeah.
If the SysAid server crashed, if we have all the files backed up, all we need to do is just copy it to the right path. No, just a second. Mm-hmm. Forgot one major issue. First of all, we need to bring up the machine back. If the machine is total lost, we need to create a new machine, install SysAid with a fresh installation, and then just put all the configuration file that we backed up in the right path inside the SysAid server folder.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that we need to do, if it's a new host, we need to change the agent path to the SysAid. In the SysAid agents that are reporting back to the SysAid server, if the SysAid server URL has changed, and then we need to change the URL in the SysAid agent registry.
Right. So we have great. So we actually have two. We talked about external, and we talked about the local database, which is the DRP. So for external, let's first see how we can restore for the DRP. Which files do we actually need to restore back?
Okay.
Okay.
So
we need,
as we saw before,
let's move to our screen. Yeah.
Let's move to our screen. So as we saw before, SysAid is backing up the DRP server automatically once you enable this function. So if the database is corrupted, and you need to restore from a backup, all you need to do is go first to the SysAid server, and then to the backup folder where we keep all the files, all the backups here, and then go to your latest backup. Okay,
we should have one
in one. Yeah, we have. As you can see, there is a folder called default. It's very easy to do. All you need to do is just copy this and replace it with the default folder that is in SysAid server /root/webinf/db. So all we need to do to back up a DRP is to stop the service if it's running and go to our latest backup and just copy the folder. Just go here.
Yeah.
And then just rename this to old. And
we have the service up. Okay.
Of course. So we won't be able to...
Yeah, we won't be able to replace it, but I think it's... let's show it.
Let's show it. So the server is down. We stop the service. Okay. Once it's stopped, we can rename this folder. Okay. And then copy the default folder from the backup.
And just start the service again.
And then just start the service again. Very easy.
Yeah. And then this again, if you still have, of course, the SysAid server machine up, and you know, SysAid is backing up these files to a path on the server, to either a local path or I would even recommend to do it to a network path in case the SysAid server is dead. Then you have your database, and of course, any backup method that you use in your organization, it's very wise to back up these files. And so we actually, I think we can move back to our camera. And in cases where you have the database which is external, we just need to re-edit the server conf, just like we saw in the previous case, right?
Correct. If our SysAid server has crashed, but we have the database and it's external, we need to reconfigure the server conf to point to the database server, to enter the user, the DB user that we're using in order to log into the database, and of course enter the password itself. So once we have those three intact, we just restart the service,
and we're good to go.
And we're good to go. SysAid will connect to the database, and it's like nothing happened.
Okay. You also mentioned redeploying the agents.
Correct.
Okay.
If let's say the SysAid server machine is crashed and we can't revive it, and we need to install SysAid on a new machine, the agents, if we didn't set up a DNS record in advance, the agents are reporting to the host, the old host name.
Right.
In order to change the path where the agents, the SysAid agents are reporting to, we need to go to the agent machine, the SysAid agent where it's installed on a client machine, open up the regedit.
We need to, can we move to the screen?
Okay.
Yep. Okay, now they can see it. Great.
Okay, good. So we open up the registry editor, the regedit, and we go to the path where the SysAid agent registry is located. In this case, because it's a 64-bit machine, we need to go to a local machine, software, and then all the way down to, not all the way because it's open, okay, to wow6432 node. And then inside we have Ilient, which is the original name of SysAid, and then the agent. Over here, you will see there are 3 registry keys that point to the SysAid server. The first one is MSG URL. Okay, and in this case, it's point to the Academy 9.91.sysaidit.com, which is a cloud account.
Yeah.
But here you just click.
Just put in the new path.
And just put the host name and the port number over here.
In the new path.
Okay, I won't change it. The second key is the server URL. Okay, and you do the same. Okay, you leave the agent entry intact. Just select the old host name and replace it with the new. And the last one is this one.
Yeah, we have another one that shows the same.
And the SysAid server URL. And no, there is because it's a cloud, it's a bit different, but there is another one, I think, here. The submit URL.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In cloud, there is an additional registry key. But in in-house, there are only 3. And the last one is submit URL.
Great.
Okay. So once you revise those 3 registries keys, you need to restart the SysAid agent service, and the agent will start reporting to the new host machine.
Right.
You can do it also in a logging script, or group policy that will change all the machines at once.
One more note: shouldn't we change the first time tag to yes, right? If we're redoing it.
This is a possibility, but it's not a must, because the SysAid agent is already registered into the SysAid server machine, the SysAid server. So it doesn't need to report the whole inventory. We just change the URL, so we will start reporting to the right URL.
Understood. And so that's one way of doing it. And the other way of doing it is just redeploying your agents all together. So that would mean that we need to set up a discovery task, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's just show that quickly.
No.
I'm sure most of our viewers know how to do that, but we'll go over that real quick.
Okay, so let's see, it's a new interface.
It's under...
customer is still under...
No, it's under network discovery right there. You have it.
So we go to assets, and then we go to...
No, not assets. I'm sorry, it's right here. Can I grab the mouse?
Sure.
Yeah, it's our new interface. You know, we're still getting familiar with it. There we go. Network discovery.
Okay.
And discovery.
Okay, here it is.
And deploy agents.
Right beneath my nose. So if we start again, I need to see exactly where it's
settings.
It's so let's start with a page that we all know. Okay, it's the manager dashboard.
Hold on.
Okay, so manager dashboard, and then click on the cogwheel, and then we go here to network discovery, and then to deploy agents. So in this page, as I'm sure that you know, we have 2 options in how to deploy, via IP range or via domain.
Right.
So let's say we are using the domain. Okay, we have, first of all, we need to create a rule to undeploy.
And then
that will actually undeploy all the agents from the machines. And after we run that, we'll just add this. I won't run.
you need to just schedule it. Yeah.
This is very important when you do an undeploy, is to untick this this checkbox because we don't want scheduled rules to undeploy agents.
Of course.
And then we just click Run Now. This will, after this complete, we need to redeploy the agents. So we create another rule with deploy.
Yeah, very simple.
Okay, this we can also schedule it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Of course, SysAid won't deploy again where there is already
An
agent installed in a machine, so there is no problem for this rule to run every day or every week. Just I recommend to do it off hours so it won't occupy bandwidth and affect performance.
Okay, let's move back to our camera. This is perfect.
Yeah, I just need to add this. Okay, so this is what we need to do in order to change the URL that the agent is installed on.
Perfect. Well, guys, this is basically all we have for you. Just to sum it up, we've shown you what files to back up. Okay, so we're going, as we said, we're going to attach that presentation to our YouTube channel. It's going to be, there's going to be a link in the description which will enable you to actually download the presentation or list of these files, so you have it for reference. And we've shown you how to back up your database and restore it. If you have any questions, our chat representatives are still here for the next 5 minutes to continue answering you. And as we said, you know, you don't want to play with your data. If you feel that you've come to a point where you can't handle it yourself, please do not be ashamed to contact us. Contact Yair at the customer relations. That's what we're here for. We're here for you, basically. So Yair, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Well, I'm going to make sure that we're going to do this again soon.
Okay.
Okay. And to you, I want to say thank you again for joining us. We're always happy to get your feedbacks and maybe ideas of webinars to come. And we'll see you on our next webinar. Bye-bye.
Bye.